Eric Hershey, the Country Conjurer, and I am here doing some video series. I thought I'd do some videos on how we're putting together a show, how I'm putting together the new show, because I have this new Ameri-ca-dabra show that I'm deep into putting together. I'm excited. It's going to actually be premiering in just a few weeks. So we've been doing tons of work on this, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight on how things get put together and what goes into it. I am in this very non-ceremonious place and dress because I've been painting some things in our maker space. I'm in the midst of the maker space, a little bit of it here, where we have all sorts of different things that my wife and I use for our different arts that we do. Shelves lined with all sorts of stuff, and we use a lot of this in this show. The reason that I wanted to do this is I wanted to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what goes into something like this. And it's kind of neat for me to remind myself of everything I'm doing to put this together. It's really exciting. And it's a labor of love for sure. This is the first show. This is the Ameri-ca-dabra show, the magic and mystery of American history. Thank you to my friend Eric Henning for that wonderful tagline, the magic and mystery of American history, and I love it. It's an American history themed magic show. It's something that's an educational magic show. So we are combining educational components about it, and it combines, as my wife Maria mentioned, it combines my three real passions: is magic, American history, and teaching are the three things that I really love doing, and I get to do all three of them combined in this show. So I'm hoping that it has a long life, and we'll probably have many variations. We already have people excited about the different variations that are going to come, different phases of it. And we'll talk about that in one of the videos of how there's just so much of American history that we'll talk about the planning thing. So one of the very next videos that I do is going to be on that. How did we sit down and take all of early American history and founding and cut it down into smaller bits, something that is digestible, something that's performable in 45-minute show. It's a 45-minute show. So standard event show size is a standard assembly size duration. 45 minutes seems just perfect for what I've found in the decades that I've been performing this, and so that's the size of the show. So we'll talk about that later. How do we take all of early American founding and cut it into, say, 6 tricks to do in a 45-minute magic show for around 9, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. That's another whole video. So what are we doing here? I just wanted to start with a little overview of all the physical and design elements that have gone into this show. Or that go into any show. And I'm doing it for this one because this is honestly the first show that I've done that is fully new, beginning to end, from scratch. I'm building it the way I wanted it to be, the way I designed it to be. Other shows that I've done, when I do a new show, I will usually take some of the things that have been working really well in my existing shows, and I'll add to it, and I'll at least sub in a few things that are kind of old favorites of mine that audiences seem to always love. This is all new because I want it to be something that serves a specific purpose. It has to do what I want it to do, which is to do the educational component as well. It has to tell the story of the founding of America. It has to do it correctly, accurately. It has to do it also in a fun way. My take on this is I want to, at the same time, touch on how incredible it is that the founding fathers, all and mothers, we're touching on Betsy Ross, for example, on this one, all of the founders really overcame some incredible odds, took some amazingly incredible risks to do what they thought they really needed to do to gain their freedom and to gain freedom for their families and the generations to come, and why it was necessary and important, and wasn't just something that they didn't like what was going on around them, so they just decided to revolt. It wasn't that. The patience, the temperance that they had until they were pushed too far. And still, what they risked and chose the hard decisions and what they chose to do, but I'm doing it in a way that is accessible for elementary school kids because it's exciting how amazing our journey has been. And it's a celebration of what we got through and what we risked, what we gained, and the beautiful things that we have and cherish and celebrate today, and that they're worth cherishing and celebrating. So, simplify, all back down. How do we do that? Well, we've come down to, I believe it's 6 tricks, technically, 6 tricks within a 45-minute show that are going to step at different points in this phase we have. So I'm going to give away some stuff in these videos. I'll tell some things that are going to be in the show, but I'm not going to give away anything that really is a full giveaway of what the trick totally is, or how it's going to go, or what's going to happen, or how it works. Obviously, you're not going to do that. So this is just a little bit of everything that goes in behind the scenes to do it. So with this, first one, just an overview, just to look at what amount of different types of things and crafts and arts are going into it or being put into it. I've been using the vinyl cutter. We'll do a whole thing on the vinyl cutter that I got recently, that we did all the country conjuring magic logos and card suits and such on the car, on the Ameri-ca-dabra, if you will. And I've used it for a lot of different magic tricks that I make. And I make so many different magic tricks on my own that I really, I love that. I love making them with that. I'll show that. That's going to be yet another video for another day. So we use the vinyl cutter. We have all our rolls of vinyl here, and we have different sheets of foam core and cutting mats, and also all the traditional crafts like that. So we do vinyl. What sorts of things do you use the vinyl cutter for? Well, here's an example of something that is one of many plates that you see that are in production for the final build for one of our prediction tricks. We're going to be spies. Me and another student, one of the students are going to be spies for Paul Revere, and we're going to try to figure out where the British are sending their troops. So we've got, first of all, we're going to have, this is just a test print of part of a map. So it's going to be this watermark map of Boston, and we'll have all of these different colored tiles magneted onto it, and between the student and I, we're going to just randomly figure out, let them pick and choose and figure out if we can figure out where the British troops are headed. And we have these tiles. They're all going to have a different color on them. These are ones that are stained, so we do wood staining. It's traced out, ready to paint, all going to be hand painted. I love doing handwork. Norm and Lupe Nielsen are just amazing heroes to me, and this is not anywhere close to their months and months of fine cabinetry style handicraft. But I love doing handwork. So this is going to be something, they'll all be hand painted color tiles, and we'll choose between the colors, and we'll eliminate the colors, and we're going to get to whatever one they pick is the one that we'll take a look at. So I'm not going to give away the trick or exactly how it ends, but we're going to try to do a prediction sort of a thing. That is not where they're going. There's a clue. They're not going to Lexington. But anyway, this is a sample, and then we I'll use vinyl and use the vinyl cutter for something like this to put these vinyl lettering on it after we've done hand-painted color tiles. We're hand-painting the white stars. We have 13 stars that are going to be appearing. Also testing vinyl instead of paint, vinyl on top of paint, glitter vinyl. Woo! So anyway, we're going to, these stars will appear and turn into a Betsy Ross flag. Get that away. There's going to be a lot of flags. There's a lot of silk flag magic, and a lot of parchment scrolls because there's a lot of documents. We're only going to have time to really touch on the Declaration of Independence in this one. Later in another variation of this, I'd love to go into the Constitution, which is its own. I could do a whole 2-hour show on just the Constitution pretty easily. We're not going to do that either. It's got to be fun. It's got to be fun. So we have paint, woodcraft, vinyl cutting. With the computer, I do my own design. So we've designed. I do my own vector and Photoshop layout of things. So we've used the computer for designing, creating the bookmarks. Every kid's gonna get a bookmark for an Ameri-ca-dabra bookmark. The big 7-foot roll-up banner that we'll show you guys, and that's been created and that's ready to go. So have that on hand, so that's ready. And then a lot of other things aside from the physical work here. We'll get I'll have other people do oversized prints. I do my own prints here. We have what else is involved in it? There are a few tricks that are, I said it's all new, it's all brand new build. There are a few tricks in it that that utilize some props that I had before, and I just reworking those props into a whole new trick. So for example, I have a tin lantern that it looks like a punched tin lantern that you might have like a hurricane style glass chimney and a punched lantern top, and we're going to use that for the Betsy Ross trick. So I had the lantern, but I'm going to use it in a whole new reason for this new trick. And a lot of those things using the vinyl to make things look like punched tin or whatever. So anyway, a lot of different arts, a lot of different crafts that are all coming together to make this. Now also lots of research. I want to make sure that things are accurate and chronological. Does it have to be? Maybe not, but I really want it to make sense, and I want it to help the kids to feel and kind of bring to life and make sense in a different sort of a teaching style than you could do in the classroom of some of these events. So maybe, hopefully, they'll get a little bit of a, oh, I remember this, or now I get what my teacher was saying because I understood it, but now I could kind of see it connected to a metaphor, connected to a playing card with the king. The king, King George III, is going to be a big giant king playing card. Maybe that'll just be a different way. I've also been a teacher for over 20 years, and so I understand how divergent teaching and learning styles really help. So I did a lot of research. I want to make sure it's correct. And I also then do a lot of editing. How do I take that down to something that's smaller? So I use all these different tools, all these different things that you might not even think about to go into a magic act. And then, of course, at some point, there's the routining and the practicing and scripting. So with, I say doing it all myself, but of course I have a number of people that help out with this greatly, and my wife and my father, who's my father has been an element of helping me work through my magic and designing and routining and kind of being like a side director of the magic since I was 12, doing my very first paid show when I was 12 years old, and so it's been a while. And my wife is a fantastic director and stage manager, and so there's a lot of people that their hands are in this. It's got to be, because it's a big show. It's a big new show, and I'm really thrilled for it, and I can't wait to see how it comes out. And I can't wait to show you guys along the way some more details of some of these processes. Maybe as long as this overview, maybe shorter, maybe even longer. Might take 2 hours. I don't know. Depends on if I run out of coffee. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. And thanks for spreading the good news. God bless. We'll see you the next time.